Welcome to Madrid. In our 2 days here in Madrid, we're going to show you some of the top sites to visit as well as some of the more unique hidden ones. Let's go check it out.
Now a little bit more of a unique option here in Madrid. Now I say it's unique, and that's because you can only go to this site on a Sunday. Is the El Rastro flea market. This is a massive flea market here in Madrid, selling everything from clothing, bags, collectibles, books, artwork, you name it, it's here. Very crowded. I believe it's open from 9 AM to 3 PM every Sunday, so it's definitely a very unique visit if you are in Madrid on a Sunday.
And this market goes on and on and on. I think they said it was about 400 meters from start to finish. It felt further than that. We walked from the start to the end and it took us 15 minutes. Now it's very busy, so factor that in, but it's just endless.
Okay guys, that market was super cool. We found some really cool like vintage stalls as well, which were cool to sift through with like vintage like Nike spray jackets and jumpers and hats and things like that. But they really had everything, and it's definitely very popular for tourists and locals, as it seems. So definitely if you are in Madrid on a Sunday, make sure you have a look, because it is a more unique option because you can only go there 1 day a week.
Something to look for in the city of Madrid are these beautiful little tiled illustrations of street names. Now you can generally find them on the corner of each street, each one looking a little bit different to the next. It's just a nice little detailed addition. They don't need to do that, but it's there and it's pretty, and I appreciate it. Now you can't come to Madrid without visiting Plaza Mayor. It is by far the most famous square in all of Madrid. It's got a really interesting history. Originally it was used to host events that range from bullfights to soccer games. We had some public executions here as well. Most recently now it is the spot where Madrid's annual Christmas market is held, which I think is really cool, and it'd be something that I would really want to see one day. There are 9 arches that act as entrances into the plaza. And something a little bit more unique, maybe not to the plaza, maybe to Madrid, are the number of different characters here that are posing for pictures, obviously in exchange for money. I see Mickey Mouse, I saw Mario from Super Mario Brothers, I even see some like the clown from It. It's an interesting choice. I don't know how many customers they will have, but you know what, you do you.
And guys, something to be mindful, as Rosh said with the characters, they do expect to be paid. So I've seen a few disappointed parents already when they're done taking pictures with their kids with the characters, and then the character pulls its head off and asks to be paid. So definitely need to pay, it's not for free.
One of the main buildings here in Plaza Mayor is completely painted on its exterior. The colours are faded because I would imagine that it is very old, but you can still see the details. This is what I love about Europe. And around the edges of the square you can find various different restaurants and shops and even little stalls. We've seen stamp collections, people selling old money, very unique different types of collections. I even just saw a bottle cap collection, very unique. Now we walked from the market to Plaza Mayor and it was only about a 700 to 800 meter walk, so pretty easy to get from the market to here, and pretty quick too, and cheap of course, which we love. Well, free actually, because we walked. And if you walk out one of the archways at Plaza Mayor and then about 50 meters down the street, you will find the most famous restaurant in all of Spain. It is the oldest restaurant in not just Spain, not just Europe, but the entire world. It even has a Guinness World Record, which it proudly displays in the front window. It originally opened in 1725 and has been running continuously since. It even has the same wood fire oven since then, and the fire has been burning in that oven for 300 plus years. It's pretty incredible.
And here at Restaurant Botin, they've even got these little dioramas in the window, which I imagine shows what it looks like on the inside, which is pretty cool. Doesn't look to be open at the moment, but pretty cool place. I mean, standing in front of the oldest restaurant in the entire world. If you're new around here, I'm Stace. This is Rosh. We're Go for Launch. We're a couple from Melbourne and we're traveling the world for 12 months full time. So make sure you hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with all our adventures. If you are enjoying this video, please hit the like button, we'd really appreciate it, and it'll help others who are interested in the same topic find this video. Anyways, back to the video. We said we were going to bring you to the most popular sites in Madrid as well as some more unique ones, and that's where we're starting our second day here in Madrid at a more unique stop. We have come here to the Cereal Hunters Cafe, which, as the name suggests, is a cafe all about cereal. You can mix your own cereal bowls, get shakes that are centered around cereals, get pancakes with cereal on, you name it. We're gonna go in and check it out.
Guys, we've seen the Mona Lisa now. Don't need to go to Paris. There are plenty of cereal options to choose from. It's very overwhelming. We ended up going with a medium bowl each, which allows you to get 2 different types of cereal, and then you can add toppings for an extra 50 cents. I went with the Reese's peanut butter cereal as well as the Oreo cereal, and Stace went with the Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms combination. Now I did add a topping, I added some Kit Kat, you know, just for good measure. I didn't think my thing would be sweet enough otherwise.
This feels illegal.
And it was really, really delicious. You even get to pick your type of milk, so we picked lactose free, and then he asked what colour, so you can choose the colour of your milk. We went with blue and pink.
Guys, I feel like we're at some sort of weird gender reveal party.
And they don't just do cereal, they do plenty of different drinks like frappes, hot chocolates, coffees, as well as some more breakfast type things like pancakes, like croissants, you name it. We each got a drink. Stace went with the caramel frappe and I went with the mocha. Both were really, really good. And now we're on a sugar hub, baby! Now our next stop is a train station. But not just any train station. It's a train station with a jungle. We've come to one of Madrid's main train stations, Atocha station, and as you can see behind me, there is a flourishing jungle in the middle of the station. Now it is definitely bringing me back to Singapore's airport, Changi Airport. If you haven't seen that video, I'll pop it up here, but it's definitely giving those vibes. It's not just like a few trees, it does feel like a jungle. Now unfortunately, it's kind of closed off at this moment. You can't walk through, but you can still sit on the edges. And it gives you that really like fresh feeling. This train station is obviously very unique, and even up until 2018 there used to be a pond with turtles and fish inside the station. Now since 2018 that wildlife has been moved to a wildlife sanctuary to be well cared for, but now we've still got this kind of jungle type area with a few pigeons inside as well.
Guys, that tree behind me is like literally touching the roof. Like, it's not every day you see a garden inside a train station, let alone one with trees that big. The best part about visiting the indoor garden here at Atocha station is that it's completely free. We love a free activity / site on our budget travels. Now you may not be transiting through this station during your time in Madrid, but it's only a short walk away from our next stop, so you can always pop in like we have a quick look at the beautiful gardens, and then head on to the rest of your day. Let's go and see what we've got in store next. We've come to Parque El Retiro, which is this giant park that actually used to be owned by the royal family, but nowadays it is just a public park that is incredibly beautiful and serene. It has this giant lake, it has this glass house in the middle of it as well. It is absolutely beautiful. Guys, this park is absolutely huge. It reminds me a lot of the botanical gardens in Singapore in that there are so many different paths and seats and just quiet spots where you can literally be by yourself. Like, we've walked down some of these paths and haven't seen a single other person. There are empty bench seats just on their own. It's a very peaceful place. It'd be a lovely spot for a picnic. It's a bit hot for us to sit and have a picnic, but in the shade it's actually quite nice.
And at the park is a pretty cool activity that we're about to do.
So while you're here at Parque El Retiro, a great budget activity is to hire one of these little rowboats. It is €6 for the boat, not per person, and you can have up to 4 people in the boat. So if you're with a group, it is very, very cheap. I think it is €8 on the weekends, but for €6, what a great fun little budget activity while you're here in the park. It is quite hot out here on the water, but we're gonna paddle our way to somewhere a little bit more quiet and just take it all in. Guys, they asked who's the strongest, and that's why I'm paddling.
Live!
For only €6, this is definitely an activity you have to do when you're in Madrid. It's so peaceful. The lake is huge. You've got this huge monument behind me, music playing in the background.
And you know, it's so hot, I wouldn't even complain if we capsized. Paddle! Paddle! Biatch! I'm tired.
A few moments later.
They don't call me Roisin for nothing. Do you get it? My advice would be to come with someone who is willing to share the load. You row half, they row half. Not someone like Stace.
Can't hear you on the sleep. Right. Guys, rowing this little rowboat is giving me serious Joey Potter rowing to Dawson Leary's house vibes. Any Dawson's Creek fans out there? I know Rosh isn't going to put this in, but Dawson's Creek for the win. And the sign at the boat place also noted that there are 2 wheelchair accessible boats, which is really good to see. So if you are a wheelchair user, there is an option for you to get on a boat as well. And I would highly recommend doing so because that was really fun. And guys, also right here in the heart of Parque El Retiro is the Palacio de Cristal, which translates to the Glass Palace. Fortunately, we can't go inside at the moment. I believe it's normally free, but it is temporarily closed. But how beautiful is this structure right here in the middle of the park, surrounded by all the trees.
Now, in terms of getting around Madrid, we have been using public transport. We purchased a public transport card at the airport. The card itself was €250, and we opted to put 10 journeys on that card, which we've shared between the 2 of us. The 10 journey part of the card cost €6.10, and then we each had to pay a surcharge of €3 for departing the airport via public transport. So it's been pretty easy to use. We also found that if you get on the bus and don't have a ticket, you can tap your credit card, and that is €150. We found it really helpful that we can share the one card between the 2 of us, and you just load the number of journeys that you think you're going to use onto the card and then tap it twice, 1 for each. And sharing the one card between the 2 of us was particularly good for us because, as you know, strict budget, we only had to pay for the card once.
And we couldn't leave Spain without getting some churros, of course. We've got a plate of churros with some chocolate and some porros as well, which we're not really sure what they are, but we're going to give them a go. Chocolate is very rich and hot. These are pretty good, they're nice and soft, they're very fresh. Different to back home where they'd be like caked in like cinnamon or sugar, which I feel like is a very Western thing, but pretty good. And they were very cheap as well. I think the plate of 5 churros with the chocolate was €3.40, so pretty good. And I think unlike in Australia where these would be a dessert, I think a lot of people have these for breakfast in Spain. Most churro places are actually open from as early as 5:30, a lot from 6:30 a.m, so it's pretty cool. Now guys, as far as we can tell, this porros is essentially just like a giant churro. It seems to taste the same to me, have similar texture. It was like a giant kind of spiral, and they cut the pieces off for you, unlike the churro, which are kind of individually parked out and fried. This is one big piece that they cut off pieces for you, so it just seems to be a thicker churro. And that is it guys for our time here in Madrid. We hope we gave you some ideas of things to do next time you're in Madrid. If you like the video, please hit the like button, we'd really appreciate it, and it helps others who would like to watch videos like this find the video. If you haven't subscribed, we'd also appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, as we're on our road to 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, we're about to get on an 8.5-hour bus, so we'll see you in our next destination.